Hi folks, Jesse back here again, and today we're going to teach you how to purchase a piece of land, your first piece of land maybe, this year, step by step. So if you want to know how to purchase a piece of land with cash, step by step, stick around. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay folks, so we're back here again today and we're going to talk about another little subject, and today's subject is how to purchase your first land property with cash, step by step. That's the name of this video, so it's real original there. But so this, we're not going to be purchasing today with, we're not going to be trying to, qualify for a loan or another way. We're actually just going to be talking about purchasing land with cash. So step one, let's go right to it. Step one, first thing you got to have, obviously, is cash, okay, and money. So we're going to say, let's say that you don't have cash. Well, if you don't have cash, you need to stay at step one and basically save up some cash. Now you're going to need to have at least somewhere between $2,000 and $20,000, somewhere in there, okay? So when you get to be, when you get to around $1,000, you can still start looking around and that type of thing, but you need to start saving your money, because if you're going to make a cash purchase this year with land, buying a piece of land, that's what you need to do, is have some money saved. All right. Number two, the next thing you want to do is you want to start looking around for land online. So you start looking around online for land like you really are going to buy something, okay? So you can go to Land Watch, you can go to Craigslist, you can go to Lands of America, you can go to Zillow. It really doesn't matter, but I want you to start looking around for land that interests you and that you may want to buy. Don't look at stuff that you're not going to buy. Look for stuff that you are going to buy. Like, are you going to buy a 5-acre piece? You're going to buy a 1-acre piece? You're going to buy, a 20-acre piece? A lot of it's going to have to do with how much money you have saved as well, and the area that you're buying it in. But you're looking for something like, we had said before, you're saving between $2,000 and $20,000 up to buy a piece of land outright. And the best way to start doing that is to start looking around, getting familiar with the markets, looking to see exactly what properties you can afford to buy. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's just like, one, but that's okay. Just look around. And what you want to do is you want to find good properties that you are looking around at. Look for properties that have good access. Maybe there's power on the road. It doesn't necessarily have to have power on the road, but good access and that type of stuff, because that's what people will want to buy from you if you decide you want to sell the land later on. But start looking around. Practice looking around at properties that interest you and that you would be interested in purchasing. It's very important. It's very good practice for you too. Just looking at different deals, different options, what people are, they have it for sale. Is it for owner financing? Are they offering it? Can you make a cash deal for it? Is somebody saying, I'm motivated, I want to buy, I want somebody to buy this property from me? Those are things that you need to find out, and a lot of this can be done by looking online. Another place you could check too is just your local MLS if you're buying local, or whatever area you're going around to. Like if you're buying in Arizona, look on the Arizona MLS. You have a lot of options that you can choose from. You just need to figure out which one that is. Okay, number three. The next thing you need to figure out is if you want to work with a realtor or you want to go it alone at this point. Now, you could still decide you want to work with a realtor later on, but for now, you're still in the initial process here, so you need to decide at this point, do I want to work with a realtor or do I not want to work with a realtor? There's good and bad about working with a realtor. The good thing is if you have a good realtor, they have a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise, they may have connections, they can help you go through, and walk you through the purchasing process. If you want to go it alone, or you're feeling like, hey, I can save a lot of money by doing it myself. I may not be perfect, I know everything, but I can do a lot of research and figure it out. Well, that's kind of where this video is. But at this point, we're going to say, for the sake of this video at this point, I'm still not going to go with a realtor. I'm still going to keep looking around myself. One of the reasons is because sometimes you're going to deal with sellers who are selling their property, so they only have so much, money that they're going to get from selling it. And to have to pay a realtor, or if you're working with, with a buyer's agent who's your own realtor, and you have to end up paying them a commission, you don't want to do that. So, a lot of these for sale by owners, they're going to say, either I have my own realtor or I don't want to work with your realtor sometimes. Not everybody. A lot of people have it listed with a realtor, which is fine, and you can still contact people without a realtor. You can still contact their realtor and talk to them. For example, like if you were interested in a property, you would just contact a realtor. You could just email them and ask them questions about a particular property. But for the sake of this video, we're going to say for step 3, we're going on without a realtor at this point, and then that's something we can come back to. Okay, step 4. Now, what I want you to do with step 4 is, now the time has come, you've saved your money, you have enough money to purchase something. I want you to go find a property that you're going to purchase. In fact, I want you to find 3 of them. Okay, so you find 3 properties that interest you and that you are considering purchasing. Okay, so once again, let's go over that. You are looking for property with good access. That means it has a good road. It could be a paved road, a good dirt road, whatever, but it's got good access, that type of thing. You're looking around for, does it have a, power? Is there power near the property, anywhere near? Even if it doesn't have power, it's still okay. You could do a solar options or whatever, or you may just want it for recreational use. But regardless, that's what you're looking for. Is you're looking for something that has good access, maybe power. Something you have to figure out too is, are you going to purchase local or are you going to purchase out of the area? Okay, that's something that you need to figure out. If you're going to purchase out of the area, it's a little more trickier. If you're purchasing local, obviously you can go see the property, you can do a lot more research that way. If you're going to purchase out of the area because you feel like maybe you live in a area that all the land's really expensive, so you can't really buy a piece of land in the dollar perimeters we're talking about, $2,000 to $20,000, then maybe you're going to buy some property in Arizona, or you're going to buy some property in Nevada or Texas or someplace like that. Well, you might be reliant then on a realtor in that area. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to say that we are looking at a property. This is a local cash deal we're trying to make here, so we're still looking. So we're going to move on with that. But remember, you want a property that you yourself wouldn't mind owning, because that's who's going to end up owning it. But you never buy property. You don't buy property that you wouldn't want to own yourself, because, if you don't want to own it, why would somebody else? If it's junk property, don't buy it. Don't waste your time spending money on junk property or these landlocked properties. You don't want to do that. Okay. With that in mind, another thing we want to talk about is a homeowners association. I do not buy properties with homeowners association. What's a homeowners association? They govern a subdivision, and basically they tell the people that either own property there or live there what they can do, what they can't do with their property. And you also have fees to pay a homeowners association. I have seen so much trouble with homeowners associations over the year. I never buy properties with homeowners association because you're going to end up with a lot of trouble. So I don't do that. Another thing that you can consider yourself, I'm going to tell you what I do. I don't buy properties with septics already in them. I don't buy properties with wells already in them. Because if you turn around and sell that to somebody else, then they're going to want to make sure that the well or the septic's good. If it's not good, or they end up testing it down the road, even if it's a few years, they come back at you and say, hey, you sold me this, the septic's no good, the well's no good, the water's no good in the well, whatever. I don't buy properties with wells or septic. That's just a no-no. On top of that, most of the time when you buy a property with a well or septic, it's going to be a lot more money. So we're just looking for bare, raw land. Maybe that has a power pole near it. It doesn't mean that the new owner, if you end up selling it to them, they can't put a well or a septic in, but let the new owner do that. That's not your responsibility. Then you're not obligated or responsible for it. Just remember that, okay? And one final note on step 4 is you want to make sure that you check, with property taxes, you want to find out what the property taxes are on the properties you're looking at. You can either call the county, you can ask the seller. You want to make sure they're not behind on their property taxes. All these things you do usually before you buy the property or you put an offer in. At least that's what I would advise to do. So make sure you do that. Okay, number 5, deal on a property and get it. So basically what you're going to do now is the 3 properties that you've selected, the 3 land parcels that you've selected, now I want you to either deal on all 3 of them or start conversing with the realtor that's representing those lots or the seller that's representing those lots. So you're going to start by getting in contact with them and start dealing on the property. And really, it's not difficult to do at all. It sounds scary, but it's really not. You need to decide which of these 3 properties you would most like to own, and I would start with that one first, and then go from there. If you've only found one property that you want to do, well, that's easy. Then you just start dealing on that property. And so what you do now is you approach the seller. Now, the seller could be selling it themselves, or they could be selling it through a realtor, okay? So if you talk to the realtor or you talk to the seller, let's say I get on the phone or I email, that's usually the way things are done these days. Let's just say this is represented by, at this point, it's represented by a realtor. And let's say it's a 20-acre lot, and let's just say I saw it, I like it, it has good access, it has power near the road, and so I know that's another added thing. So I'm buying this property. They have it listed right now for about $20,000, okay? And I know I have saved $20,000 up, okay? This property and everything you want to look at when you're looking at these listings, and if you scroll down the listing a little bit, your own realtor can find this information for you too, is you want to find out how long this property's been on the market, because that sometimes can tell you the motivation of the seller. So if this property's been, if it was just listed yesterday or during the last couple of months, the seller may be going, hey, I'm going to wait a while. I'm not going to sell it just to anybody or whatever. But what if this thing's been on the market? But for the sake of this video, we're going to say that this thing's been on the market for 8 months. And so I see that this has been on the market for 8 months. They have it listed at $19,999. It's a 20-acre lot. I am interested in it. But I also realized something here. Now remember earlier in this video when I told you that cash is king? Okay, cash is king. Why is that? Because cash, not everybody has $20,000 in their pocket walking around looking to buy a bare piece of land, okay? Now I like the way this piece of land looks. It's got good frontage, it's got power near it, so I know hooking up the power wouldn't be a problem. It would probably be an ideal building lot for somebody. I could turn around and resell it if I decided to. I could use it for myself for going out there on the weekends because it's close to home. But regardless, let's just say that for the sake of this video that, I know I have $20,000. They want $19,900 for it. But I'm going to approach them, and because I know I've done my due diligence, the property taxes are up to date, there's no HOA, there's no homeowners association, so I don't have to worry about that. So now I'm going to approach them. In fact, I emailed the seller's agent, the realtor, and a lot of times I've done this in the past because, they don't want to just have to write up a deal for nothing. So I basically sent an email out, I sent it to the seller's agent, and I said, I asked, I have some cash, but because of the price, I'm not sure that they would accept my offer. So I don't know, should I present my offer anyway? And by law, a realtor, no matter what it is, they have to present the offer. And so she wrote me back and she tells me, yeah, Jesse, go ahead, present the offer. It's been for sale for quite a while. He just really wants to move this. He inherited this property some time back, and he just put a price on there. We did, but he's really just wanting to get out of the property, because he doesn't live around here and that type of thing. So right there, that tells me, A, he's motivated, B, it's been for sale for quite some time. C, the seller's agent is telling me that as well. So those are all good things for me. So what I do is I come back and I said, okay, so do you think, I sent an email back. I said, do you think, I know he's asking pretty close to 20. I would feel, I've done my research in the market. This thing's been for sale for quite a while. Do you think maybe he'd take, maybe $10,000 for that lot? Well, obviously he's not probably going to take that, but you never know. So I start really low like that. And then she comes back with me with an email and she goes, well, I can present that to him. I don't know what he's going to say. So that's where we kind of go with that. So I present that offer, it's at 10,000. Well, and he comes back at 15 to me. Okay. So then I come back at him again and I tell the agent, I said, hey, I'm not going to pay 15, but this, I have cash and this is a fast close. So the fact that cash is king, see, they're not going to have to wait for my deal. I don't have to go get financing. I don't have to go through anybody. I'm not trying to borrow the money or anything like that, like go through a bank. That's going to be 45 to 60 days. No, I have cash here, man. I have the money right here and I can pay it down and we can close this deal like in a real short time, a week, 2 weeks at the most. All I have to do is title report, okay? So I come back at them, they want 15. I said, you know what? I'll tell you what, this is my final offer. I'll give you, I can do 12. That's as high as I'm going. It's a cash offer. You can take it or leave it. Well, they come back at me, and because of the motivation of the seller and the fact that I put that was it, he basically took the offer at $12,000, okay? And so he wanted 20 basically, and I came in at 10 and then went up to 12 and got the property. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Now we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, now for step 6, secure the property. So what does that mean? Basically it means we have an accepted price. Now I'm going to put my down payment down, my earnest money, and I'm also going to decide right now here what's going to happen next. Either I'm going to proceed myself, trust the seller's agent to write up a deal with me buying the property where they're going to get both ends, or I'm going to use an outside source like either my lawyer or my own realtor, which I probably would use my own realtor at this point, to write up the deal and present it to the seller to get an accepted offer. They verbally had done that, but we're going to get an accepted offer. And so that's what I've decided to do in this video. I'm just going to say I'm not as experienced. I don't feel like I'm going to write it myself. So I'm having my own realtor write it up. So they're writing it up, and so they're going to represent me. The seller has his own realtor. She's going to represent him. Okay, so where we're at now is, since we have an accepted offer, I now give my agent, my own realtor, some earnest money, a couple thousand maybe, and of the 12,000, and then they will put it into escrow, which will go through a title office, and then this we will have an accepted offer from the seller and the seller's agent. Okay, so they're going to sign it, I'm going to sign it, and then we have all the way around, it's all signed, and we have an accepted offer of $12,000 for this piece of land. And I'm using all cash, so it's not going to take long to close, maybe a couple of weeks. All they have to do is order a title report and that type of thing, and we'll be moving on forward. So now we've secured the property, we have an accepted offer. It's time to move on to step 7. Okay, step 7 basically is do your due diligence on this property. Okay, what does due diligence mean again? Just do your homework on the property. Your realtor can be helpful in this situation. We're going to go through a title office. So the title office will order a title report. They'll make sure there's no cloud on the title, which means basically there's no problem with the title. It'll make sure that there's no liens on the property. There's no problem with the seller. Maybe they have had a divorce and there's something that shows up out of the woodwork, then there's a problem. But no. We're going through a title office, so that won't be a problem. I'm going to do my own due diligence on this property. I'm going to call the county. I'm going to talk to the assessor's office, make sure there's no back taxes owed on this property. And I'm also going to talk to the county clerk, go through there, try to find out if there's any liens, anything that's unforeseen to me. Okay. And one final thing too, because we are using realtors, a lot of times with a realtor, there'll be a seller disclosure, okay? And that's something you want to look over. The agent for the seller will have had the seller fill out a seller disclosure. And that basically just goes over any problems he knows with the property, anything he needs to tell me, you know, anything that's ever happened on the property. Was this ever a meth lab or anything like that? Okay, number 8, close the deal. So when you close the deal, you're going to end up getting a warranty deed, okay? You don't want to get a quick claim deed. So if this seller is going, all I'm going to do is give him a quick claim deed. No, because you're not getting anything that guarantees anything. So no quick claim deeds. What you want to do is you at least want to get a special warranty deed. But get a regular warranty deed like a grant deed, that'd be fine too, or just a regular warranty deed. And after that, you close the deal, the property is yours, and you basically can decide, hey man, I own this property. There is no mortgage to pay because I bought it cash, okay? I can decide if I want to resell it, if I want to sell it for cash again, just, you know, turn around and flip this thing because I got such a good buy on it, or if I want to keep it as a long-term investment. But you have options. But the best thing about all, other than property taxes, maybe a little insurance, you don't even have to pay anything else. That property is yours. It's yours. There is nothing else to pay, unlike a rental property or something like that. Whereas you're going to have to keep, you know, maintaining it, have property insurance, you know, have a tenant in there and all that stuff. You don't have to do anything. This property is yours. You bought it free and clear. You own it. Congratulations. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you that you bought it. So the question is, are you going to buy it? Are you going to try it? Are you going to try to do this? I sure hope so. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Jesse signing off, and I hope you'll be with us again. We'll be having another video come out real soon, I'm sure. But anyway, this is Jesse signing off from the Owner Terms Land Network.